أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد صدق الله العلي العظيم. Dear student, very important topic of today, because if you want to know the nervous system, you have to know the cell which is present in the new nervous system. This cell is not the nephron. This cell is very different than the nephron. This is the neuron. And neuron and the nephron difference was very clear, because nephron is the functional unit of the kidney. Never mean that is complete structure of the kidney do not consist of nephron. There are some parts of the kidney which are without nephron. Outer part of the kidney is called as a cortex. Inner to the cortex medulla is present. The cavity of the kidney is called as renal pelvis. Renal pelvis is the part of the kidney which is without nephron. If the nephron is declared structural and the functional unit of excretory system, the nephron must be present in all parts of the kidney. But that is not present, because the cavity renal pelvis is without the nephron. Only outer part of the cortex, only outer part of the kidney, which is the cortex. Inner to the cortex, that is the medulla. So these were the two parts in which the nephrons are present. So neuron, this neuron cell you can see here, this is the neuron cell. Neuron cell importance is that is present in all parts of nervous system. If you will compare brain with the spinal cord, if you will compare the sensory neuron, if you will compare the peripheral nervous system, because if you will divide the nervous system into two types, that is, what is that? You will recall from the previous session. Yes, CNS and the PNS. CNS and the PNS. CNS mean the central nervous system, and the PNS mean the peripheral nervous system. So these two nervous systems, which are the part of nervous system, they all are composed of neuron. Unlike kidney, there is no anything in the nervous system which is without neuron. This is the point which I just wanted to tell you. So this word is very vast to explain. Neuron is the structural and the functional unit of the nervous system. What does this mean? Functional unit mean all type of the function of the nervous system. Which type of the function of the nervous system? Whatever the function of the nervous system, that is being done by neuron. That is being done by neuron. So neuron will carry out all function of the nervous system. If you are comparing the nervous system with the excretory system, the neuron is the structural and the functional. This is the cell of the neuron you are watching. I will start from here. Structure of the neuron, I will start from here, because that is the cell body. But I just wanted to explain first of all that neuron is the structural and the functional unit of the nervous system. Structural unit mean a nervous system, whatever it is CNS, whatever it is PNS, mean peripheral nervous system, all parts of nervous system, whatever that is the brain, whatever that is the spinal cord, all parts of the nervous system, they consist of neurons. They consist of the neurons. So neurons are the integral part of the nervous system, because they are not forming the structure only, they are just doing the functions of the nervous system as well. So if you are going to assess the nervous system with excretory system, nephron is the functional unit, that is not the structural unit. That's why we say nephron. Difference between nephron and neuron I clarified. What is the nephron? Nephron is the functional unit of the kidney. Why the nephron is not the structural unit of the kidney? Because the part of the kidney, there are the parts of the kidney which are without nephron. Which part of the kidney is without nephron? Renal pelvis, the cavity. Which part of the kidney consists of nephron? Cortex and the medulla. Why neuron is structural and functional unit of the nervous system? Why neuron is the functional, structural and the functional unit of the nervous system? Neuron is the functional unit and structural and functional unit of nervous system. All parts of nervous system, including brain, including spinal cord, including PNS, peripheral nervous system, which I will tell you, all things are composed of neuron. What is the meaning of functional unit? Mean all functions of the neuron are done by, all functions of the neuron are done by the neuron, mean neuron.
So neurons are doing the function, neurons showing the structure in the nervous system. The very simple sentence we will say that neuron is the structural and the functional unit of the nervous system. We cannot say that neuron is only the functional unit, because the neuron is composed, nervous system is composed of neuron, and all functions of the nervous system is also depending upon the neuron. Now I will tell you exactly the structure of neuron. Now you have to be very attentive. This is a cell, a precious cell of nervous system. If nervous system is the boss of your body, if nervous system is controlling all parts of the body, it is just because of this cell. What is the part of this cell? One part, this part is the cell body. This part is the cell body. Okay, you are watching the cell body. Okay, what I am talking about, I am explaining the structure of neuron. Neuron cell is modified. This is one cell. That's why I am talking the cell changes its shape and structure according to function. This neuron, look at the nature, how they change the shape and structure of the cell. If this cell has to perform the function of transferring the message, what is the name of the message which is transmitted through the neuron? What is the name of the message which is transmitted through the neuron? The message name is nerve impulse. The message name is nerve impulse. So nerve impulse, if the nerve impulse is to be transported by the neuron, so then the cell length should be large. Lengthwise it should be large. So lengthwise you are watching, the neuron is going to transmit the message from one part of the body to another part of the body. What is the evidence of this information? That each cell in our body is modifying his shape and structure according to function. Whatever the function is, the shape of the neuron will be like that. Whatever the shape of the nephron, whatever the function of the nephron is, that the shape of the nephron will be like that. So that is the two very complicated and very complex cells, and exactly telling us that how the functions changes the structure of the cell, nephron and the neuron. You are studying these two specialized cells. So neuron. Okay, the circular identification is telling this is cell body. This is the cell body. Why it is called the cell body? This complete is the cell. If I will label this complete is the cell, you should not say that only this upper part is cell. No, this upper part is a part of the cell. This complete is the cell. This is the cell body. I am telling you the part of neuron. I am telling you the structure of one neuron. So I have to explain, this is neuron part, this is a 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 neuron part. This all consist of one cell. Now you understand? Mean that how the cell modifying its shape and structure. Look at the lengthwise status of the cell, just to transmit the message, just to transmit the nerve impulse. The nerve impulse will be transmitted in the cell. It will go from the one part of the body to another part of the body. Now I will tell you the integral part of the neuron. Integral part of the neuron is the cell body, and this is the cell body. This is the cell body. So cell body, which is integral part of the neuron, and cell body is integral part of the neuron, integral important part of the neuron, significant part of the neuron. Reason why it is integral part of the neuron, it consists of much important part. I have to label that part first of all. I am labeling the very important part of the neuron, that is the cell. So cell body, if you see the cell body, one is the cell body, and this is the fiber which is very lengthy. Fiber which are lengthwise long, these are the fibers. This is called the axon. You can write the spelling. I can dictate you, AXON, axon. The small fibers are called dendrites. The long fibers are called the axon. It means cell body. You are getting me now, because cell body is the central part. Cell body is surrounded by short fibers and the long fibers. So there are some short fibers, there are some long fibers. The short fibers are called as dendrites. The long fibers are called axon. So I will explain once again. Okay, look here, the structure of the neuron. I am going to tell you once again. This part is called cell body. Okay, Why it is called cell body? Because it is integral part. It is important part. Why it is important? Because it consists of nucleus. When nucleus is present, the structure becomes important. Nucleus is present, the structure becomes important. The small fibers are called as dendrites. dendrites, dendrites. The long fibers are called axon. So small fibers are there, large fibers are there. Small fibers are there, large fibers are there. These small fibers are called dendrites. Large fiber, long fiber is called axon. Now question is that, sir, how the message mean nerve impulse is transported to the neuron. So this is suspense, how the nerve impulse transmit the message. When I will try to explain the messaging in the neuron, how the current is transmitting from the one part of the neuron to another part of the neuron, I need to teach you at least 1 month, and I will teach you in second year. When I will tell you about sodium potassium pumps, when I will tell you about sodium potassium gates, I will tell you action membrane potential, the resting membrane potential, and no need to tell these terms now at your level. But one thing I will tell you here at your level, which is very necessary: the direction of the nerve impulse. What is the direction of the nerve impulse? The nerve impulse is transmitted. Nerve impulse is transmitted. In which direction the nerve impulse will be transmitted? Nerve impulse will be transmitted from this direction, from this direction, from this direction to this direction. So it is transmitting from the dendrite to the cell body. Okay, from dendrite it will go to the dendrite go to the cell body, and then cell body goes to axon. So this will be direction of the electric current. What will be the direction of the electric current? Electric current, nerve impulse. The message which is transmitted through the neuron is called as a nerve impulse. And nerve impulse will be transported from the dendrite to the cell body, and cell body from to the axon, and axon goes to the next part of the next area, in which actually one thing I will tell you. This neuron which is showing, that is a motor neuron. What is the function of the motor neuron? I told you in last lecture. You remember, you recall the lesson. This is motor neuron. Okay ji, motor neuron. So motor neuron conduct the message from the CNS to the effectors. What is the CNS? Once again, your brain. Your simple, you understand brain. Spinal cord, actually, that is your backbone. You know, vertebral column, back side, your back side is called dorsal side. At the center of dorsal side, if we would like a long cord is present. Inside that, smallest thin fiber is present, that is spinal cord. And spinal cord actually is the second boss of your body, because spinal cord along with brain is controlling your all nervous system. Brain is the main boss and spinal cord is the second boss, because when brain is unable to decide, spinal cord will decide. I will tell you when the brain will be on vacation, and the next boss means spinal cord will decide the emergency situation in the body will be decided by the spinal cord. So motor neuron will carry the message from CNS, mean brain. CNS, I am telling you brain because brain is integral part, important part of the central nervous system. Central nervous system equal to mathematically brain plus spinal cord. But I am giving importance to brain. Spinal cord importance I will tell you when it will come in reflex section. So brain carry the message. Motor neuron carry the message from the brain to effectors. Effectors mean muscles and glands. If my hands are moving, those hands are moving due to contraction of the muscles. Yes, if the hands are moving, these are due to contraction of the muscles. If my hands are moving due to contraction of the muscles. Similarly, if any action is going on in our body, digestion is going on, the heart is pumping the blood to all parts of the body, your lungs are performing specific functions, those are being done by help of effectors, which are muscles or glands. And the message will come from where? From the cell body to the effector. Now, two types of neurons I mentioned in the last session. One is a motor neuron and one is a sensory neuron. Both are very important. In the motor neuron, you are watching the dendrites are very small. And what is the mode of direction? What is the mode of direction of nerve impulse? Mode of direction of nerve, in the direction of nerve impulse. The direction of nerve impulse is from dendrite to the cell body. Where is the cell body? This is the cell body. And then the axon. This is the direction of the current nerve impulse from the dendrite to the cell body, from the cell body to the axon. This is the direction of the nerve impulse. So by this way the message will be transmitted from the brain to the effectors, mean the main targeted side of the body, which will implement the change, due to which you will speak, due to which you will move your hands, due to which you will run, you will walk, and other actions you will do, due to effectors which are muscles and glands. Muscles and glands, of course, in the next chapter, skeletal system, you will be able to understand how the muscles made the specific changes of locomotion in your body. So now I have to tell you, yes, of course, one important thing which I have to tell you. This axon, where is the axon? This axon, okay ji? This is the axon, covered by a membranous structure, myelinated sheath, myelinated sheath, M-Y-E-L-I-N-E-A-T-E-D, myelinated sheath. And this myelinated sheath is insulator. Nerve impulse cannot be transported from the myelinated sheath. Nerve impulse cannot be transmitted through this myelinated sheath. But there are some area in the axons in which the myelinated sheaths are not present. In which myelinated sheath is not present. You see these areas, there are some points, there are some points, there are some points. These are called nodes of Ranvier. Nodes of Ranvier. So nodes of Ranvier are there in which myelinated sheath is not present, but myelinated sheath present in the patches. The area in which myelinated sheath is present, that is one cell. That is one cell. That is one cell. That is not the cell basically. Basically that is just called cell. Actually this full is neuron. Neuron is complete cell, but these are just, we will say cell, but that is not cell. Just name will be used, and it is called as Schwann cell. S-C-H-W-A-N-N, Schwann cell. What is the cell? Schwann cell. S-C-H-W-A-N-N, the Schwann cell. So Schwann cell, this is the Schwann cell in which myelinated sheath is present. Don't worry about the name word cell, because neuron is the complete cell. These are part of cells, because neuron is so much long structure, so you can subdivide into subdivisions. These are just the subdivisions, means you will refer Schwann cell. And then the area in which the myelinated sheath is not present, that is the nodes of Ranvier. I will start next lecture from here, in which I will tell you what is the advantage of nodes of Ranvier. Thank you.